This segment is being sponsored by Capital Sportsman. All right, welcome back, everyone. This week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. Dude, have you seen Flowers on Facebook?
Yeah.
The room's full.
Yeah, already. It didn't take any time at all.
No, no, I swear some of you started early.
They've had better luck than we have.
They sure have. I tell you what, I saw all those, halter marks and all that on some of them. But, hey, get out there, 4550 Eaton's Creek Road. You'll find Flowers Deer Processing. And let me tell you something, those folks are some of the best you will find in the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area. Again, 4550 Eaton's Creek Road for all of your deer processing needs. All right, we have this week, that is one of my good friends. Lee Hughes went to southern Colorado and took that nice elk and with a bow at 60 yards. Last day, and it was one of those stories, last day of the hunt, 60 yards, scored 335 in total inches. That's pretty good. I mean, I haven't even gotten 1 inch one yet.
No, me neither. He's 335
he's 335 ahead of me. But we're proud of you, Lee. Thank you so much for sending that to us, brother. And
all right, what we have here, now some of you guys might have saw this picture on Tennessee Deer Hunters the other day. This is Taylor's ship with just a beautiful looking double drop time buck that he shot this past weekend in Wilson County. And I was messaging back and forth with him, and he sent me some trail cam videos that he had of him and things like just a unique deer, really neat trophy right there.
Yes. All right, our next one here.
All right, speaking of bull elk, this is our friend Andy Griggs, and he was just recently, I guess it's been about 2 weeks ago, on a hunt in Montana. And he took this elk, and he has just been on cloud 9 ever since he shot this rascal here. And so he sent that over to me. And
I guarantee you that's going to Wilson's.
I bet he's probably already on his way there.
He's already there, probably. All right, we got another one here.
Okay, here on the end this is Brandon Linton and his daughter Molly with a nice 8-point buck that he shot this past weekend in Rutherford County Sunday afternoon. Or I believe actually he shot him Sunday morning. And they went out and found him late in the morning. But anyhow, that's him and Miss Molly and enjoying his opening weekend buck.
Sounds great.
So,
all right, we appreciate it. Hey, you can send your pictures to us here, Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robinson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, 37219. Better yet, send them to us by Facebook to Southern Woods and Waters on Facebook, and we'll put them on here really fast.
Get them on here quick like.
We got some deer pictures coming in, and we appreciate everybody sending them in. Keep them coming. I do want to do, before we get to this segment right quick, I want to give a big shout out. That Tennessee Blood Trailing Network boys, Peyton Massey, Clint Holden, and all Jason Bowers.
They've been busy already,
Let me tell you something. They are finding a lot of deer for a lot of people. And you need to, if you're serious about hunting, I'd go ahead and put them in my iPhone instead of having to worry about trying to find their number. But I would try to get those guys on my trail if it was really a good deer, or any deer. I would want to get them on that trail.
And quickly, don't waste time. If you've lost bug, you have any doubt, get out of there and call these boys.
Quickly you need to react.
That's right.
So Tennessee Blood Trailing Network, Peyton Massey is the administrator there, but you got Clint Holden, Jason Bowers, Peyton Massey, lots of good ones coming on. They will be there to help you, I promise you. And what's $200 or whatever they charge to get your trophy?
That's right.
So, it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, boys. And we have with us tonight Nathan Wilson. And Nathan, one of the biggest complaints I know that taxidermists get is you don't have enough skin.
Yeah, that makes it hard on the taxidermist.
It does. But now we brought this, or Nathan brought this mannequin in, and now this is a one that y'all actually use to make mounts with. It's put out by McKinsey Company.
Yeah, this is a McKinsey product.
And so, tell us though, I mean, if we got our deers down, what should we cut and what should we not cut?
Okay, the biggest problem that we have a lot of times is when you're actually gutting the deer. A lot of times I've seen them gutted plumb up to here.
Oh yeah.
And what we want to do is stop about right here where this blue line is right here when you're gutting that. And it's still real simple. You can reach up in there and cut that esophagus out, and you guys have gutted deer before, and you can pull all that out. So we want to stop when we're gutting it right there. But if you'll notice, there'll be 2 cuts, and it'll just be right around the knee area. And what we're going to do is just round that off. It's real simple. You'll round off both sides, and then you're going to make a cut down the back of the leg. And if you'll just follow this blue tape that we have here, you're going to go down the back of the leg, and once you get to this what we like to call the brisket area, armpit area, where that hair changes colors, if you'll just follow that line and just come back here to a V like this on both sides, and just peel that down, and you want to cut it, then ring it just around the body right there. And if you do that, that's real simple cuts. If you'll do that, your taxidermist won't have a problem whatsoever. Be plenty of skin.
And that's for the guys. Now, a lot of deer processors cut just like that if they know you want it mounted.
Right.
And what I like to tell people, ladies and gentlemen, is if you do want one mounted and you take it to a deer processor, it's really your responsibility to tell them that you want that deer for a mount.
Make sure they know you're doing a shoulder mount or whatever.
Don't leave it to them to make that decision. You need to make that decision.
Right.
And I think there may be a $2 or $3 or $5 charge for doing that, but it's worth it if you do it right. But the field dressing part, I believe, is where most hunters make their mistake.
Right.
They go, when they get to that sternum, they want to just go ahead and take that big brand new buck knife and see how sharp it is and rip that sternum.
See how far they can go. Yeah.
And that's really, you don't need to. You need to stop there.
Right. Well, the newer mannequins, there's a lot of new mannequins out on the market, and a lot of people like to go with the wall pedestal mounts and stuff like that. The old standard shoulder mounts back in the 80s, 90s didn't require as much of the brisket area and the shoulder area as they do now. And everybody sees these mounts on social media, and that's what they want. So you need to allow plenty of that area to make it work on that particular mount.
That's awesome. And another thing is, we talked about during the break though, Nathan, spoilage. The Cape spoilage. Now I want to give you a short little story, because one of our Facebook friends, it was a lady that actually watches the show, Brandon. She got ridiculed because she put pepper all over where the cuts were to keep the flies off. She said, she told them that. Well, they laughed at her and said, you don't need that. But yet, spoilage can come from heat or flies, bacteria.
Correct.
All of that stuff comes into effect. She did right in doing that.
Right.
So I want to tell her publicly out here on the show, she questioned and said, am I right? You were right.
Yeah.
The guy that told you and made fun of you was wrong. And let him have his cape spoiled.
Yeah.
You keep doing it the way you're doing it, and I promise you, guys that are in the business will love you for it, because it doesn't spoil on that.
Right. There's a lot of methods out there, but of course, you know, if you know you're getting that thing mounted, the worst thing I see is these guys load them up in the truck, and we all want to show our friends. And you know, I've seen.
But draped across the hood of a brand new truck's not the way to do it.
Right. We got one in today, shot early this morning, and we didn't get it in the shop till 3 o'clock this evening. And it'd been exposed in the sun all day long. I mean, the hide is still fine, but you're just taking a chance on bacteria setup. So if you know for sure that you're going to have your trophy mounted, best thing to do is, if you're going to do it yourself, is to use these simple cuts, get that thing skin out. And another thing, when you're skinning these and you pull them down over the neck, the further you go, it's just that much better for the taxidermist. But once you get down there, you just want to wring that neck off and cut through the esophagus and the windpipe. There's a vertebrae there in that neck that you can cut, and then actually just wring that head off.
Yeah, it rings right off.
Yeah, get it in a bag, and if you've got access to a freezer, get it in a freezer as quick as possible till you can get it to your taxidermist.
Now I want to ask you, because a lot of people, a lot of old school people don't use the neck. That is actually one of the better roasts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is the neck roast.
Yeah, it's good meat.
You're right, Nathan. As far as if you can get it up there to his jaw, get it up to his jaw, and take that neck all that neck meat.
That's good for the taxidermist and gives you a little bit more to eat.
It sure does. And there really isn't any finer roast, I don't think, on a deer than the neck roast.
My buddy Jack, you've met him several times. That's his favorite part on deer.
It is mine too. I'm telling you, it's good
stuff. Don't you dare shoot one in the neck.
Don't you ruin that neck muscle. But and when they do that, now how long are we talking about somebody taking to do this?
Skinning it out?
Yeah, just like you're talking about.
Just these cuts here, and that doesn't take very long at all.
3, 4, 5 minutes?
Yeah, I mean these cuts here, you could do these cuts here in 5-10 minutes tops.
Tops?
Yeah, that's being real slow at it. And just take, if you could just spend an extra 5 or 10 minutes on making sure that you've got these cuts just like we have on these blue lines. And when you're actually starting to peel this thing off, and sometimes you're going to have to get your knife in there and work around. Be careful not to cut a hole, especially up in this brisket area where the hair is thin, and you've got that white thin hair. I get a lot of times I'll get them in, they'll have several cuts in that area, which that can be stitched, and you can hide a lot of that, but it's just a little extra work on the taxidermist. And you're spending that kind of money, you want your money's worth when you take it to a taxidermist, so you want a good piece.
I want to ask you a good tip though for guys or gals that want to do this. I've always found that the smaller the knife, the more control you have with it. And if it's sharp, you can sit there and peel it like that. You get these big knives in there, and they get to cutting, and you forget where you are, and you put holes in your cape.
Yeah, a smaller knife works real well, just like even a paring knife.
Yeah.
Like you peel apples or potatoes with, works real well. Just make sure it's good and sharp and makes clean cuts. But those work as well too.
All right. Well, Nathan, we got to do our product of the week. I hope this helps you, because a lot of you, if you'll just go by what Nathan's telling you, I promise you, you're going to come out with a much better mount. Your taxidermist's going to be happy. Might not charge as much. You never know. So that would be an awesome thing to do, wouldn't it?
It would. And again, like you said, it doesn't take that long, and it makes such a better experience
for the
taxidermist, and your mount's going to look better. It's a good deal for everybody.
That's right. So we got to do our product of the week.
This week's product of the week is being brought to you by our good friends at Caney Fork Outdoors. Get up there and see them at the Big Rock Market, just there off the Center Hill Dam exit, or you can come down here and see Ryan at the old Donaldson Center, just right near the bowling alley there on the front side at the old Donaldson Plaza Shopping Center.
Buy a kayak and go bowling the same day.
Go bow you a couple rounds and then head to the river.
That's right. Hey, this week's product, we got a nice one right here. This is hot right now during this time of year. This is early fall, end of summer. A lot of shad are coming up on the top, Brandon. So a lot of guys and gals are fishing topwater. This is what they call a whopper plopper. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't even go there. This is a whopper plopper, and what it does is it actually churns the water. It has a freewheeling tail, and I'm afraid I'm going to get a hook in my hand but you can see it swinging. It goes, it just sits there and, I got a hook in my hand. But it makes a churning noise, and the bass just can't take it. This one here is a black. They've got several other colors that you can get. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to catch some nice bass and don't want to be stuck on the ramp,
the action in the water on that thing is pretty amazing.
It's amazing. So check them out. You can get them in most of your retail stores, but we'd love for you to go to our good friend at Murfreesboro Outdoors, Randy Boland. He's got plenty of them, he said. So go check them out. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more Southern Woods and Water.